Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Hyper Metroid. And in this video we are ending up all over the place. Obviously going through Norfair a little bit more. About somewhere in this area I decided, I've checked what I can on the left side even though I still haven't grabbed your technically first super missile. But I decided, you know what? I've been over here, let's check out the rest of Norfair. There's a whole other side of the main elevator into Norfair from Criteria or Burnstar, whatever it is. It's like, maybe I should go over there and explore the other side. Also, the background in this room is a little funky. I'm not such a big fan of the brick tiles and then the rock tiles like that. So yeah, you even need power bombs to go down there, so yeah, definitely not going down there yet. But yeah, there are some neat, very neat backgrounds in this place, but not any that I would say we've seen yet. Like they're more the, I guess, Lower Norfair area, though it's really hard to say anything is Lower Norfair in particular, just because of how it is. It's really not too much different in terms of looks because it already sort of varies a lot in that department. So also lemon juice lava is something. It is definitely something. Yeah, I finally decided. Oh, this is where... Okay. This is something weird with Grapple. I didn't really test this very much, but in that spot, grappling at these tiles does that to you, where it just sort of pushes you in the air. I don't know why. It's just something that happens. And the reason being is... no clue. Okay, so what this is, it just connects back up to this room, which we've already been in. We just didn't go through that door. And then it's just Crocomire beneath. And I'm like, I've been everywhere. I clearly haven't, but I'm making a decision that, there's more interesting stuff to be had on the other side of Norfair, which actually is true. I mean, I did not know Crocomire actually gave you anything. I mean, he sort of technically doesn't. You still have to go exploring around a little bit to find your first supers, but like that's something that never popped into my head until someone else said, this is where your supers are. Because, I never found that quite yet. I do go back and get them, but that is quite a bit later. So maybe defeating Crocomire opens that gray door up there as well. I mean, it's a possibility. Maybe probability even. And then, of course, our movement, we can survive in lava, is just really, really slow. You can kind of see, like, that's not exactly fast movement. But there is a nice energy tank hiding out here. The items in Norfair are being in those orbs instead of item orbs. I guess I wouldn't call that a regular thing, but there's one other item that does that I can think of off the top of my head. I also kind of like how the glows look under the lava. You can kind of see them a little bit on the rocks. Gives it a nice sort of magma-y feel. This is really hot. Although seeing how lava's basically melted rock, why those rest of the rocks aren't melted, I don't know. Also, again, with that wonderful crouch thing, please do remove. It would have been nice if the enemies were also affected by lava, like these bouncy guys. I mean, if you have a room completely submerged in lava, it's easy to just set their speed, or set Novas like this, their speed slow so it looks like they're affected by lava. There is no speed setting on Deskigas or Side Hoppers though, so that's kind of disappointing. I guess it might, or it probably is possible, with quite a bit of code to make it so that the enemies are affected by lava as well. That'd be a lot of work for quite possibly not a lot of return. Also, this room is just a big tease. It's like he wants you to find it because he's obviously got it. It sort of looks very well marked out. You know, it's like, oh, a secret in this room. And there is a missile here. This door, we won't be... I mean, I'll be coming back here later just to see, you know, after I defeat Ridley, whatever, just to see. Because, you know, hey, it's a Ridley head. Maybe it opens after defeat Ridley. But no, it doesn't. That door is just annoying. It does get used later, but it's still annoying. I also like how suddenly the lemon lava turns into the red lava when you fall in. And again, look at these bubbles. They're just sort of... they're like, eh. They just seem so dull. I mean, it's a good thing the glow looks good on them, because otherwise that's just a very dull bubble. These bubbles, however, look much better. Looks like there's some life to them. Okay, and this save station up here, this is the one, you know, I'm standing on it, it's like, wait. It's like, does this save station not work? I don't know what's going on with this save. Yeah, and then I'm just kind of off of it, and it works. I don't know if anybody else has ever had any trouble with that save station, but that's a save. That's weird. So anyway, in here, in this lemon juice, we've got some pathway. And we have another missile, which actually, again, that ammo. I can fire 18 supers now by collecting a lot of missile tanks. So yeah, it's such an improved system over the Super Metroid ammo, so... So yeah, there seems to be a lot of like theming with this hack. Like small sections are like the blue bubble theme. Small sections are the other bubbles. Small sections use, you know, these tiles. Small sections use those tiles. And they're just sort of grouped together. Seems to be a lot of theming with that. In some ways it almost makes it seem inconsistent just because the areas they're in seem so small. And then obviously in one of the previous rooms, you dropped down in lemon juice and came out in red cream soda, so. And there's another energy tank hiding back here. So there's a couple we found in this video, so that's really nice. We've got half our energy tanks. Something to mention is there are 5 reserve tanks because RealRed hates life and people and decided to put bad items in the hack. So yeah, there are 5 of them. I believe there's 1 in each area, but don't quote me on that. And yes, I enjoy space jumping without the space jumping animation. So yeah, going on the right side, the east side of Norfair, I felt like I was progressing a lot better just because, you know, I'm actually getting things and stuff. You know, I got an energy tank over here. I end up getting ice beam over here very shortly. I get a gate over here. So yeah, but you have to be on the west side in order to get your first supers if you're following the intended path, so. It just, in my playthrough, it just felt like there wasn't much over there, I guess. And yeah, those bubbles are suspicious for a reason. But down here is the ice beam, and ice beam increases your beam's power. It is now stronger. You can now shoot some enemies with your uncharged beam that you couldn't before. And again, these bubbles. But over here, we have a lovely dragon in our way. And we've got gate number 7 unlocked. It's 10 left. We are 1/3 of the way through the gates. And actually this video is about the halfway point of the series, so in terms of videos to gates, the back end is filled with a lot more than the front end, so, which is sort of what you would expect. It's like, hey, you don't have all the stuff for every gate yet, so you're not actually going to be able to do anything with them yet. So that door takes you from Norfair straight into Criteria, right next to the in-game area. So it's like, oh, that's a nice little shortcut. The door on the right, obviously we saw that when I died, was the pathway to Meridia. So that makes traversing the world much easier, and I think that might have saved some people, and still might potentially save players who get really lost. You know, they're getting frustrated going around everywhere, not seeming to make any progress, but, you know, with those there, they can get around faster. So I think that it's a good idea for that to happen. You know, doing things like that to make things quicker to traverse or anything is good for the player. It's also, you could potentially use like a warp area of sorts. Sort of like Phazon hack did. So, and for larger hacks, that is definitely a very good idea. And speaking of hack size, I believe DSO counted up these total screens in Hyper, added them to his list. I don't remember the total, but if you count redesign and redesign Axial Edition as just redesign, one hack, this is the second largest hack, I believe, currently out there. So it's got some size. It doesn't feel as big though. I was actually really surprised. I thought this hack would be smaller than it felt. I mean, it doesn't feel large, honestly. So like, redesign feels large and tedious. Z Factor feels large. This one didn't really feel as large, and it might just be because of the interconnectivity of the areas. So, when I was looking at the map, you sort of notice, oh hey, there's a gate thing. So there's another gate done. And there's a thing over here, one of the reserve tanks. We need to have Spring Ball and Speed Booster, because that will let you Speed Ball and Morph Ball. But yeah, the reason that wasn't that hard to find was because, first of all, the gate is marked on the map, but there's also the door on top of the landing site room. If that door wasn't marked, and that gate wasn't there, that probably would have been the hardest gate to find. So it's a good thing there was at least one of those, and with both those it makes it easier to find. Kind of put two and two together and see. And yeah, I forgot those are speed boost blocks. Basically, I am currently on point with the intended path right now. I believe no matter what you do up to this point, your path is going to meet up with the intended path here normally. Because, you know, I've just went through what I thought was pretty much what I could get through in Norfair. It wasn't, but that's what I thought. I did a lot of Brints already. I'm going back to check the wrecked ship. Just to see, you know, where else to look. And so after going through those areas, you know, now it's kind of like, oh, well, I guess maybe I am supposed to do suitless underwater, seeing how I've already discovered that I can wall jump, I can get around in there. It's not what I want to do, but maybe it's what I have to do. So yeah, again with that save after Phantom, why? Just why? And I was clearly having a good time there. But yeah. And again, the mossy parts of this look really good. Even when, or especially when, you know, it's now darker, power's off. Somehow Phantom was powering the ship. Who knows? But the mossy tiles look so much better. I don't even know. So as far as the wrecked ship is concerned, there's really not anything we can do in here. The path to Meridia just leads to those couple of gray locked doors. I've already got everything in here I could get, I believe. You know, again, it's just like, hey, I am trying to find where to go. Maybe there's something here, because, again, going to Meridia without gravity suit, where it's underwater and stuff, not exactly an intuitive thing. You know, players who've played this game, the original game, and hacks and all that, they're pretty well trained that, hey, going to Meridia without gravity is a bad idea. So yeah, all these door caps are the same. You still can't actually get anywhere. If you just freeze that atomic, I believe if you just use a charged ice beam shot without wave, or maybe just regular ice beam shots, you can hit it and damage it and then freeze it without destroying it. You can very slowly use the atomics to climb. That thought never crossed my mind. But yeah, you can use those to climb up, get to the working save station with power off. And I believe you can get there's an energy tank hiding up there to the right, off the room. You can get that. Without gravity, that's basically all you can do in the wreck ship. I guess if you didn't get the gate, either of the two gates before, you can get them now, but really. And that's just the power bomb blocked off by power bomb blocks. But yeah, there's really not much to do here. But this is kind of where, you know, the hacks sort of just like bogged down a little for me. It's like, well, because I was getting a little worried at this point, because Person had been going on for 2 or 3 or maybe 4 or more hours looking for where to go. You know, he's at the point where I'm at now. He was. Where, you know, everywhere he went, or I went, you know, there's powerbomb doors or speed boost blocks in the way. So it's like, well, I need to find one of these somewhere. So, where do I find them? And as it turns out, neither of those are your next upgrade. Because you're supposed to have Gravity Suit. And then Gravity Suit lets you get Power Bombs. Which, I believe, open up Speed Booster. I actually am not 100% sure about that. It might be that you can get Speed Booster before Power Bombs. I think that might have been mentioned. I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember now. Yeah. Again, with non-working save station, I don't even. And then, of course, drop back into Meridia. It's like, well, nothing's actually changed there, so that's not going to do me much good. And then I run away from the energy. And somehow Pseudo Screw Attack does not work on fish. Either that or it just doesn't work underwater. So yeah, I mean, at this, you know, it hasn't been too long where I've been finding stuff and everything. It's just from, you know, being in the mumble or whatever with other people who have had issues with this. You know, I'm starting to just get concerned a little bit. Zach's been enjoyable. It's been fun. Now it's kind of like, maybe this is not such a great thing now. I mean, it's just like any hack. If you know where to go, it's not that difficult, but still, it's just not a very obvious path to take, I guess. Even though, I forget how many videos ago this was, when I took the left door instead of the right door at Meridia, I could have had Gravity Suit then if I took the right door. But I took the left door. So, yeah. Fun with open world concepts and all that. Hooray. But anyway, this is where I stopped the video off. So, thanks for watching. We are actually at just about the halfway point of the series, so it started the second half, and we will see you for that video.